Have you ever felt a connection so deep it defies logic, yet so turbulent it leaves you questioning your own path? You sense a powerful bond, a spiritual truth between you and someone else, but instead of harmony, there's distance. Instead of clarity, there's confusion. Why does one awaken while the other runs? Why does love, this sacred soul-deep love, feel so impossible to hold on to? If you're standing in the middle of that spiritual storm, wondering whether it's all in your head or truly divine, this video is for you. In today's video, we're going to unravel the sacred truth behind the twin flame journey. Not the fairy tale, but the real, raw path of soul awakening. We'll explore why this bond is unlike any other, why the divine feminine often awakens first, and why the divine masculine struggle is not rejection, but part of a greater divine unfolding. You'll discover the deeper energetic blueprint at play, the spiritual mirror effect between counterparts, and the reason this journey challenges everything you thought love was. By the end of this video, you won't just see your twin flame connection through the lens of longing. You'll begin to understand it as a powerful spiritual initiation. You'll stop blaming yourself, stop chasing illusions, and start honoring the sacred timeline of this unfolding. Whether you're the one who has awakened or the one still trapped in fear, this message will give you clarity, healing, and a deeper sense of peace. It will remind you, this path was never about fixing or forcing. It's about becoming whole. So if you're ready to finally understand why your soul was drawn to this journey and what it's truly asking you to become, watch this video all the way through. Don't just skim the surface. This message holds answers your heart has been quietly waiting for. Stay with us until the end, because what you hear today might just shift everything you thought you knew about sacred love. Number 1. Your energy feels like home, a truth he can't escape. There is something hauntingly powerful about the bond between twin flames, something that defies logic and transcends space and time. One of the most mysterious and undeniable truths of this sacred connection is the way the divine masculine becomes energetically addicted to the divine feminine. He might run, he might deny, he might even convince himself that this connection is just an illusion. But no matter how far he goes or how long he stays away, his energy always circles back to you. Why? Because your energy doesn't just feel good, it feels like home. This sense of home isn't born from familiarity in the physical world. It's soul deep. Long before either of you walked this earth in your current form, your souls were already intertwined, created from the same divine spark of origin. When he encounters you, even in silence, even through a glance or in a dream, he's not simply experiencing comfort. He's experiencing a sacred remembrance, a recognition that shakes his inner world. You are not a stranger to him. You never were. And in that realization, something stirs. For the divine feminine, this awakening is often welcomed. She surrenders to the knowing. But for the divine masculine, it can be overwhelming. Your presence doesn't just soothe him, it exposes him. It activates long-buried emotions he's tried to forget, an unhealed pain he's tucked away beneath armor built by ego, trauma, and societal expectations. And yet, in the midst of this emotional chaos, your energy remains the only thing that feels real, stable, and safe. Like a soft breath he didn't realize he'd been holding, like a lighthouse in the storm. Even when he distances himself physically, when he stops calling, when he avoids contact, he is not truly gone. Spiritually, he is tethered to your essence. It's as if his soul refuses to forget what his mind cannot yet understand. The comfort of your energy is not something he can replace or replicate. It's imprinted in his being. And no matter how far he runs, he will always find himself longing for the warmth of the one place that has always felt like home. You. Take a moment to breathe and feel into what this means for you. Has your divine masculine ever returned in unexpected ways, even when you thought the connection was over? Do you feel that invisible thread still pulling you together? This journey is as much about awakening as it is about remembering who you are to each other and to yourselves. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you felt this energetic bond, this feeling of home that never truly fades? Let us know your experience, or simply type, "His soul knows mine, even in silence." Your words may be the sign someone else has been waiting for. Number 2, you trigger his spiritual awakening, the unseen impact of your energy. Your energy does far more than offer him comfort. It catalyzes a transformation within him that even he doesn't fully understand. On the surface, he may seem accomplished, respected, or even content by worldly standards. But beneath that external success lies a quiet, persistent emptiness, an ache he cannot name. When your energy enters his life, it doesn't just soothe that ache, it exposes it. You shine a light into the corners of his soul where shadows have long lingered, where unresolved pain and forgotten dreams have quietly gathered dust. Suddenly, what once brought him joy or pride feels dull and meaningless. You awaken something within him that no achievement, no relationship, no distraction ever could. But this awakening isn't gentle. It's not a peaceful process. It's raw, chaotic, and often frightening. Your presence stirs a storm within him, forcing suppressed emotions to rise and long-buried traumas to demand acknowledgement. Old patterns no longer fit. Limiting beliefs begin to crumble. And at the heart of this emotional upheaval is you, your energy, your truth, your light. To him, you are a lighthouse, beautiful, radiant, and powerful. But you are also terrifying, because you represent the truth he has avoided. He both fears and longs for you. He feels drawn to your essence in ways he cannot explain or escape. It's not just attraction, it's soul recognition. He becomes energetically addicted to you, not because of dependence, but because your presence brings clarity. Even when it's painful, even when it challenges his entire identity, you make him feel. And in a life that's been dominated by masks, roles, and expectations, this raw feeling is more real than anything he's ever known. You reflect back to him who he truly is beneath all the conditioning. You mirror his potential, his light, his buried wounds, and his path forward. And deep within, he knows he cannot go back. The seed of transformation has been planted. Something within him has shifted permanently. So even if he retreats, goes silent, or tries to deny the connection, he never truly leaves. He circles back, energetically, emotionally, spiritually, again and again, seeking peace, seeking understanding, or perhaps just to feel that soul-deep connection one more time. And while he may appear distant on the surface, movement is happening within him. Growth is occurring, even in the quiet. The most powerful thing you can do in this moment is to focus on your own path. Your continued growth, your ascension, your healing, it all lights the way for him too. When you embody your truth, you become not just his trigger, but his guide. You are the spark that awakens him, and the light that shows him how to rise. Number 3, he feels safe in your emotional depth, a sanctuary his soul never knew it needed. One of the deepest, most powerful reasons he remains energetically tethered to you is the emotional sanctuary you provide. In a world that tells men to suppress their feelings, to equate vulnerability with weakness, your emotional depth becomes something rare, radiant, and sacred. As the divine feminine, you live from your heart. You don't just feel, you embody emotion. You express it with honesty, with grace, with courage. And that very essence stirs something within him that he cannot name, yet cannot ignore. When the divine masculine meets a presence like yours, it disarms him. He may have spent years building walls, playing roles, and silencing his inner world. But in your presence, those defenses begin to soften, not because you push, but because your energy makes it safe to feel. Perhaps for the first time in his life, he senses that he won't be judged for feeling confused, vulnerable, or broken. Your energy doesn't demand perfection, it embraces humanity. And that is a kind of safety that his soul craves more than he consciously understands. Your emotional depth acts as a quiet invitation. It says, you are allowed to feel, you are allowed to fall apart, and even in your unraveling, you will be held with love. That kind of sacred space is profoundly healing for someone who has had to carry the burden of emotional isolation for so long. And even if he doesn't know how to articulate it, his soul knows. That's why he returns again and again, not always physically, but energetically. He is drawn not only to your beauty or light, but to the deep well of safety you carry within. Yet his journey is not linear. There will be times he pulls away, times when the very depth that heals him also terrifies him. When he runs, it is not because you've done something wrong, it's because you've touched something raw and real inside him. His detachment is not rejection, it is fear. Fear of drowning in what he has never allowed himself to feel. Fear of being seen too deeply, too clearly. And so, in these moments, the greatest gift you can offer is to remain anchored in your own truth. Do not shrink to make him comfortable. Do not question your worth based on his resistance. Instead, honor your emotions. Speak your truth. Continue being the living embodiment of heart-centered wisdom, because through your example, he learns. Through your presence, he heals. And through your emotional depth, he remembers that it is safe to come home, not just to you, but to his own heart. Imagine a man who has spent his entire life being the protector, the strong one, the provider, the one who never lets his guard down. He's successful, respected, and admired. Yet, behind closed doors, he carries wounds no one sees. He's never been asked how he feels, only what he can do. Then, he meets her. She doesn't try to fix him. She doesn't demand answers. Instead, she listens. When he speaks, even clumsily, she doesn't interrupt or judge. She holds space. One evening, after a long day of pretending to be okay, he breaks down in front of her. He expects her to turn away or see him as weak. But she simply takes his hand, looks into his eyes, and says, "You don't have to be strong with me. Just be real." In that moment, something shifts inside him. Not because she saved him, but because she gave him permission to feel safe in his own skin. That's what your emotional depth does. You become the one place in his world where he's allowed to feel everything he's hidden from, even the parts of himself he thought were unlovable. And that kind of safety, it's unforgettable. Number 4, your energy reflects his divine potential. There is something sacred about the way your energy touches his soul. It doesn't just awaken him, it reveals to him a vision of who he truly is at the core. Through your eyes, he sees not just a man, but a warrior, a healer, a divine masculine force with a purpose far greater than the roles he's played in the world. You recognize this part of him long before he does. You feel it, even when he hides behind masks of logic, success, or fear. You see the greatness inside him, not because of what he does, but because of who he is. And yet, this reflection can be deeply unsettling for him. For someone who has spent years seeking validation from the outside world, through accomplishments, approval, or control, your unconditional recognition of his inner power can feel like a storm. It threatens to shatter the false self he's worked so hard to maintain. He may feel exposed, unworthy, or overwhelmed by the possibility of becoming the man you already believe he is. In his eyes, you are not simply a person. You are a mirror to his highest self, a reminder of a destiny he may not yet feel ready to claim. Still, he cannot turn away. Even if he distances himself, your presence lingers. Whether it's through a fleeting memory, an unexplainable dream, or the simple echo of your voice, he returns to you in spirit. Why? Because when he sees you, he sees himself. Not the version shaped by wounds or ego, but the one destined to rise, strong, loving, and whole. Your love does not demand perfection. It embraces him exactly as he is, flawed, fearful, evolving. This kind of love, so rare and raw, becomes the quiet current beneath his resistance. It invites him to feel worthy, even when he doubts himself. It encourages him to soften, to shed old identities, and to begin the process of self-acceptance. He may not say it aloud, but your unwavering belief in him becomes a lighthouse in his darkest nights. Your role is not to fix or chase him. It's to remain rooted in your own truth, to continue expanding in your own divine path. And as you do, your light naturally grows stronger, steadier. That radiance doesn't just guide you forward, it becomes a frequency he can feel, a soul-level pull that calls him home to himself. Ultimately, the journey is his, but your energy is the reminder of what's possible. It's the invitation to rise, not for you, but for the man he was always meant to be. Number 5. He can't recreate your energy. At some point, the divine masculine comes to a powerful realization. No matter how hard he tries, he cannot recreate your energy with anyone else. In the early stages of separation, he may convince himself that the connection was too intense, too destabilizing, or that peace lies in something simpler, more predictable. He may enter other relationships, searching for the comfort, inspiration, and emotional aliveness he once felt in your presence. From the outside, these connections might appear stable. On paper, they may seem ideal, but deep within, something is always missing. That something is the frequency of you, the unique vibration of your soul, the way your energy settled his chaos and awakened his truth. It is not something that can be duplicated or imitated, no matter how much he tries. Your essence leaves an imprint on his heart and psyche, a kind of soul mark that time and distance cannot erase. He remembers the way your presence brought him peace in the middle of his storms, how the sound of your voice echoed like a balm through the corridors of his mind. Even when he tries to numb the memory, to silence the truth, the universe finds ways to remind him. A certain song will play when he least expects it. A dream will resurrect your image with piercing clarity. Signs will appear on his path, seemingly random but divinely orchestrated. These aren't hauntings, they are gentle nudges from the universe urging him to remember what was real. And while he may continue to search externally, the deeper truth remains. Your energy has become part of his inner world, a quiet truth he cannot run from. With every step you take in your healing journey, as you rise, expand, and embody more of your divine light, he feels that shift. Even from a distance, the energetic bond between you pulses with life. He's drawn to it instinctively, like cold skin reaching for warmth. Over time, the confusion that once clouded his vision begins to lift. He realizes that what he felt with you wasn't chaos. It was clarity. It wasn't fantasy. It was the most real thing he's ever known. Eventually, the masks fall away, and he is left with the undeniable truth. Your energy was never something to be replaced. It was a once-in-a-lifetime resonance, a soul-deep connection that continues to call him home. Not to you, but to the version of himself he first glimpsed through your love. The love he seeks, the love that calls him back to you time and time again, was never something he had to chase in the outside world. It lived quietly, powerfully, in the very energy he once feared, the very essence he now finds himself unable to resist. And though his physical presence may waver, his soul never truly leaves. The magnetic pull he feels is not a result of longing or lack. It's a deep, divine response to the healing energy you embody. This connection was never an accident. It was written in the stars long before either of you knew what to look for. Your souls did not meet just to fall in love. They met to awaken, to mirror, to stretch, and to evolve. The beauty of this journey lies not in its simplicity, but in its sacred complexity. It pushes you to your edge. It challenges everything you thought love was. It asks you to rise, to let go, and to trust. The silence has meaning, the distance has purpose, and surrender is not weakness. It is faith in divine timing. Let him walk his path without interference. Let your stillness speak louder than your presence. The true magnet is not your longing, but your light. When you choose your own healing, when you stand in your wholeness, you create a field so powerful that reunion becomes inevitable, not forced, but divinely aligned. Union is not a prize at the end of the road. It is the mirror that reflects back the inner union you've already created within yourself. It's the natural outcome of two souls rising into alignment, into sovereignty, into truth. So keep rising, keep trusting, keep healing. You are not waiting, you are becoming. If this message resonates deeply with you, type this in the comments. Wholeness attracts union. Let it be your affirmation and your declaration. Don't forget to like this video to support the message, share it with someone walking a similar path, and watch the next video below. Because your journey doesn't end here. It only gets more magical from here.